I'd like to tell you this. The title Great Place to Work Initiative, the title A Great Place to Work Initiative, it's a good title. It's a title in name alone. Nothing about these proposed rules or reforms would make this a great place to work. It's not.
I want to ask everybody to just keep the comments and the things down so we can move. We have a lot of people to get to. I want to move through this so everybody gets a chance.
This administration has had since 2010 to make this a better place to work, not much less a great place to work. It hasn't done so. You can ask the 500 police officers who have left the NOPD for greener pastures. You can ask the remaining NOPD captains who we have here who are relegated to work in a trailer with no windows, how good they have been treated. You can ask the city employees in this room how they feel about the way they have been treated. The working conditions, the promotional opportunities, the morale of the NOPD, and I'll go so far as to speak as probably most city employees that I've represented and spoken with, it's low, it's falling fast, and it's falling steadily. And I'll tell you this, it's not the fault of the Civil Service Commission. It's not the fault of your rules. The existing system works fine. It's worked fine for 40 years. What has happened is this current city administration has failed to fund you, failed to support you in your decisions, failed to allow you to do your jobs. They've created this problem. They've created it by delaying appeals. They've failed by appealing every ruling which is adverse to them, no matter how ludicrous or no matter how frivolous that may be. The rule changes that they propose, contrary to Mr. Copland's statement, do in fact dismantle the Civil Service Commission. It does conflict with the merit system as defined in the Louisiana Constitution in the Home Rule Charter of New Orleans. and we'll show that through appropriate legal challenges should y'all pass these reforms. And it will allow, and it's in fact designed to reintroduce political influence and corruption and political intimidation into the employees of the city of New Orleans. Make no doubt about that. And again, these rules, and I'll speak for the NOPD on this part, and I would venture to say many city employees would agree with me. The rules don't address the real problems that are faced by the employees of the NOPD or the city employees. Those problems are low pay, and indifferent, or sometimes even a hostile treatment from the city administration or managers, fair to infrequent promotional exams, inadequate work resources, and the constant fighting that we encounter in regards to the rules of the Civil Service Commission. We have to come to the Civil Service Commission far too often and fight with who? The city attorneys over everything we try to get accomplished that the rules mandate occur and is carried out. So it is a better place to work. It's not a great place to work, but it's not because of y'all. It's not because of y'all. It's because of people that aren't in this room any longer. But again, the city has ignored the complaints of the police associations when we ask for some type of relief in accordance with the rules. They've cut the budget of the Civil Service Commission down to the bone. They've cut the staffing. They've denied funding for promotions and promotional testing. And they've failed to, basically what they've failed to do was invest in what they consider their greatest, what they're trying to help. They've failed to invest in their employees. And they've let them down. And what does the city do? What is their answer to this? To propose this initiative. And how do they do it? They blame the Civil Service Commission first and foremost. They blame the rules. They blame everyone else but themselves. And then what do? They offer a solution. And their solution is, well, we're going to change the rules. And in doing so, they're going to ignore the Constitution. They're going to ignore the Home Rule Charter. But they're doing it for a reason, and that's a personal reason to them. They want to be able to control these people, to control and intimidate and introduce political influence and corruption into city employees. It's not enough that they do their jobs every day. It's not enough that these men and women will carry guns and put their lives on the line. But they want also to demand the utmost loyalty in every aspect of their lives. And that's simply not fair. And make no mistake, that's what these rules are designed to do. I'll tell you this. On April 3rd, one of the commissioners sitting at this table appeared in public and gushed admiration and support for this reform. And what he said, basically, I'm paraphrasing, was getting things done in civil service is slow, like someone covered the floor in super glue. You know, and I agree. But again, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. The city administration has introduced that super glue onto the floor of your commission. That's what's slowing us down. That's what's slowing employees down. That's what's slowing down the city of New Orleans from being a better employer. Their own mistakes, whether it be by negligence, by ignorance, or just by plain mean-spiritedness. And so what do they do now? They're going to offer you the opportunity to fix and clean up the super glue that they spilled on your floor. And, you know, their asking price, from a monetary perspective, I think they said it'll cost about $350,000. From a legal perspective, we have no idea at this point, but we know that they'll be willing to fight, even if it's a losing battle. But from a moral perspective, it's going to cost them even less. What's going to cost them is y'all's moral authority. They're going to ask you to ignore your responsibility, ignore your duties, ignore your mandates and the mandate of civil service, and all you got to do is sell all these people out. To sell them out and ignore what the law says you're supposed to do, ignore what civil service is supposed to do, and that's allow competitive testing, that's to allow for fairness, that's to allow for protection of employees. And that's what everybody wants to make New Orleans a better place. Thank you.